Happy Friday and happy Good Friday. I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend. Because it is Good Friday, the studio is closed today and we couldn't find a time to tape an episode of Nip Talk. So we're going to do some of our best of celebrity plastic surgery stories today. Please leave us a comment. Let us know what you want us to do for a segment on next week's show. We'll see you next week live with Nip Talk. You guys had to have seen all this crazy stuff about Madonna, right? I mean, she broke the internet, and what's the wildest thing about all of this, hubbub of Madonna and how she looked, is we were talking about this a few months ago, right? Mm-hmm. This came up, and I think that it came up then because, everyone on social media saw it, and now when she was at the Grammys, it's like the whole world saw it, the people that don't get on social media. So as you guys probably know, Madonna was presenting at the Grammys, and she was looking like she does now, after those surgeries. And man, her social media just exploded with people talking about that she looks, and I'm not saying this, but people were saying that she looks scary, she looks unrecognizable, that she's addicted to plastic surgery. I mean, they were saying some pretty, harsh things about her. And, Madonna's pretty defiant about the whole thing. She came out this week and she said, the world refuses to celebrate women past the age of 45, which, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but she was just kind of clapping back a little bit. And then she said that she, got caught up in the glare of ageism and misogyny that permeates the world. And so she's been, pretty critical of the people criticizing her. And I think that's fine. And so, she's being talked about on all these talk shows. In fact, I've done 3 little media interviews in the past couple days about it. And the thing that I'm seeing out there, and this is important. I'm about to get on my soapbox here, all right? I'm about to seriously get on my soapbox because, people are criticizing her and they're saying, why did she do this? And I just think that is really not the right question that we should be asking, okay? Madonna is an icon, right? She was this, musical goddess of the 80s, and she has this almost unobtainable image that she has to uphold. And of course, as she gets older, she's going to want to try to keep as much of that as she can. And so, I have no problem with Madonna wanting to stay youthful. I mean, I'm a plastic surgeon. That's my career, right? Is helping people stay youthful. So, why did she do it? Well, I mean, it's obvious. But specifically as far as why did she make herself look like that? I guarantee you that she did not go to some doctor with a picture of what she looks like right now and said, make me look like this.
No.
So the question that we should be asking is not why did she do this? It's who did this to her.
Yeah.
Who took Madonna, the most iconic musician of the 80s and 90s, or one of them, and made her look like that?
Yeah.
It's not acceptable. Like I said, I don't think she asked to look like that. I think she probably went in to somebody and said, I want to look more youthful. What can you do for me? And that's what they gave her. And if she came in and said that she wanted to be overfilled like that, they should have told her no. They should have told her no.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was my patient that looked like that was unrecognizable, I mean, I'd be mortified.
Yeah.
She
does not look like Madonna anymore.
She doesn't look like herself. And I'm mad at the person that did that to her. I don't blame Madonna. I mean, to me, getting mad at Madonna is like blaming the victim. I mean, she's the victim in all this. And, and she's been defiant about it, and I get that. She wants to defend her decisions. But I just have to believe that she didn't ask to look like that. I mean, and I don't think that she looks bad. I mean, my biggest
It just doesn't
it
look
doesn't
like
look
her.
like her.
That's
Yeah,
you're not supposed. Whenever you get plastic surgery, you're not supposed to be able to notice. That's the whole point of it. Only the trained eye is supposed to notice if you've gotten plastic surgery, or if it's just that drastic. But you know what I'm saying. I mean,
but
of course you know what I'm
she just doesn't look like herself. I mean, she almost looks. I mean, I hate to say she looks unusual, but I mean, it's hard to deny.
She doesn't have normal human characteristics in her face. She does not have normal human
somebody was
features.
saying she looks like one of those Roswell
her face just looks abnormal. It does not look like a normal human face.
Yeah. I mean,
something's off about it.
I just feel really, really bad for her. I mean, I love Madonna. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I had the hugest crush on her growing up because she was so cool and rebellious and different. And like, honestly, I'm kind of angry at what happened to her. And I'm not angry at her at all. I mean, this, as iconic as she is not an esthetician. She's not a plastic surgeon. She doesn't know like what the outcome of certain procedures are. So if she's asking for something that shouldn't be done, it's on the person that she's seeing to tell her no.
It's like it almost seems like she just like went into a plastic surgeon's office and was like, do anything and everything you can to fix my face. And they're like, okay. And
But they just,
they
didn't
too
do
hard.
it right. They did, they went too much. Like, I mean, I'm upset about it. And like, I feel like that we, sorry, there's the pictures right there. We should have thrown those up earlier. I feel like that we as a society like should call out.
She's starting to resemble that. It was like there's a designer.
Oh, Donatella.
Yes.
Donatella Versace. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah,
like
bit.
very old, like older.
Too.
Yeah.
But like
I know who you're talking about.
So much plastic surgery on her face.
I mean,
that
it looks like a mask.
You're like, who are you?
Yeah. Oh,
today?
I know. So I feel like everyone directing their shade at Madonna, they're off the mark. Like we should be directing at whoever did this, and let these people know it's not acceptable to take our iconic heroes and make them look like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Like,
do you think it's reversible? Like any of it is?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. So, I mean, when you talk about like facelift and how tight her face look, it's hard to reverse that.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the fillers, which are really making her look full, it depends on if it's artificial fillers like Juvederm or Voluma, or if it's fat grafting. If they grafted her own fat into her face, then it's going to be hard to reverse that. I mean, you don't really want to do liposuction.
What's the best thing? I mean, knowing Madonna, she probably got the best there is. So what would be their best there is?
I mean, they probably did fat grafting, I would guess. I mean, you'll be able to tell if like her cheeks start to fade, later this year or early next year, because that's about the lifespan of these artificial products. So yeah, I mean, I guess time will tell. But man, I just feel so bad for her. And so I know we've done this before, but I want to go through the Madonna timeline because I think it's a really cool thing to see. So Travis, can you throw up that first picture? Okay, so Madonna, age 27, 1985, smoking hot, looks great. 1997, age 39, beautiful. I mean, I don't think she's had anything done there, maybe some Botox, or she might have had her breast done, but her face looks the same. 52, she looks gorgeous. Look at her, she looks good. Now, she may have had a little bit of filler in her cheeks there, probably some Botox, but she looks like Madonna. She looks, great. So age 58, she's starting to get a little bit older. You can start to see that she's got a little bit of loose skin, but still, she looks like Madonna, and she looks very nice. She looks elegant, pretty. All right, 2021. Now, hold here for a second. She's had some work done, okay? I think she's had a facelift. I think she's had
a filter on her too.
She does, but I mean, a filter will only take you so far, right? But I mean, she's had a facelift.
Looks like a Kardashian.
A little bit. She's had her, lips done, but she still looks like Madonna to me. She just looks like 30-year-old Madonna. But all right, next one. Whoa, okay. Now she's not really looking like herself as much. No. The cheeks are just so full. She's just very angular. That's the picture that kind of blew up the internet the last time when we were talking about this. And then going on to here at the Grammys, and that's the one that
How old is she here?
64. Yeah, 64.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think like her thin eyebrows too.
I think it's the eyebrows that are really.
And they're light. I think they're really light.
Yeah, I think it's the combination of the eyebrows and this part of her face,
it's
this
just so
area
full.
Is like it makes her look like an alien face.
Yeah, it's like very triangular.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's different.
I feel so bad for Madonna. I mean, and I hate that everyone's ragging on her. I mean, as I said, I feel like she's the victim in all this. I don't think that this is her fault. Like, I can imagine. I mean, I get crazy if I gain 5 pounds and I'm nobody, right? I'm just like Joe Blow. Like Madonna's like on this like world stage, and I can only imagine that the pressure that she feels, whether it be real or perceived, to like stay youthful. So I mean, you can't blame her for wanting to do things, but I can't blame the person that did that to her.
Yeah, like that wasn't like, hey, you need to stop.
Yeah, right. You as a plastic surgeon, or maybe she saw a dermatologist. I don't know, because I don't know who did it, but you have to be the bigger person to say, no, you shouldn't do this because of these reasons, you know, being...
Yeah, you're going to start getting into the realm of this.
Yeah, of this, where it like makes this huge backlash.
Like it's going to be the opposite effect.
It's not
like
just
you no longer look younger, you look
unusual.
Different.
Yeah. You know, and it's not just like the
You're
people that don't like Madonna that are saying these things. It's people that actually really like her, you know?
Yeah.
So. I got 2 videos, but I want to play them because one is Cardi B talking about plastic surgery, and so if she's telling me stuff about plastic surgery, I want to hear it. Roll that first video, Travis.
Let me tell you something. In August, I did surgery because a lot of people thought that as soon as I gave birth, I got my body done. No, bitch, I didn't. In August, I did surgery and I removed 95% of my biopolymers. If you know what biopolymers is ass shots. And it was a really crazy process. And all I'm going to say is, right, that if you're young, if you're 19, if you're 20, if you're 21, and sometimes you're too skinny, and you be like, oh my God, I don't got enough fat to put on my ass and everything, so you resort to ass shots, bitch, don't fucking do it. Like, I am super, 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 super against motherfucking ass shots. I'm super against biopolymers. I'm just against it. Young girls, do not young girls, because it's young and older, do not, whatever you do, don't get ass shots. Don't get ass shots, bro. I'm really against them. I all the way support you if you want to do alterations to your body, if you love your body, whatever the fuck, I'm all the way with it. But do not get ass shots. I would never fucking recommend them. Luckily, my ass shots that I did when I was 20 years old, they never turned purple. They never got discolored. They never did nothing stupid to me. Like, I never felt pain, because a lot of bitches be feeling pain and shit. I never felt that. However, like, after I gave birth to my son and I gained all that weight and my ass just looked extremely, extremely big, I was like, nah, I gotta take this shit out. I gotta fix my shit up. I gotta fix it. You know what I'm saying? I got a little something.
I think she doesn't like. I think she doesn't like buttocks injections.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Okay, so you probably will when I describe it. Okay. So what she had done in 2014 is she went to this like illegal type person. It was literally done in because I actually dug a little deeper to see exactly what she had done. So it was done in a basement. She paid $800, and someone basically injected silicone into her buttocks, like the stuff that you hear where people get it from like Home Depot, like a caulking gun. Have you not heard of this?
No.
People do this, yeah.
There were cases in like Dallas where people were like getting busted for doing it.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's totally illegal. It's practicing medicine without a license. Yeah. So they'll get like literally silicone, like you would buy at Home Depot to like caulk your windows, and they get a needle and they attach it on there and they'll inject it into their breast or their buttocks. I've seen patients that have had it. Like they'll, just like she did, she got it removed. Like I've had patients come to me that want it removed. I haven't done a buttocks yet, but I've done a breast where like you had to pull that stuff out. It's horrid.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know. I've heard of that before. Like I've heard of it before, but I didn't know it was illegal. I didn't know that it was illegal to get those shots.
I mean, it's not illegal for her.
Right.
It's illegal for the person doing it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I thought that was like
scary.
I thought that was a regular like medical procedure that like cosmetic procedure that you could do, I guess.
No, I think like in the early days they tried that, and then they realized that it was a terrible idea, and so like they quit doing it. But of course, you know, people are creative, right? They'll be like, I'm gonna go up to Home Depot and buy some silicone and open up
the same thing, right?
Yeah, open up a thing in like my van down by the river where I'm like giving people like shots.
Down by the river.
It's a dangerous game.
But yeah, so she did that, and so obviously. Literally one of the worst things. I mean, you can die from it. Like you can literally die from doing. In fact, in one of her things where she was talking about, I think she said that the person who did hers had somebody die from it, and then she got busted. So Gwen Stefani earlier this month was on Late Show with Seth Meyers.
Yeah.
And people freaked out. And I got a clip from the show, and I want to run it. Travis, can you run that clip?
Do you ever do any of your songs when you're on the road
You
with
know
Blake?
what? He asked me to do songs all the time, and I'm like, it's not my stage. Like, this is so awkward. Like, I'm forcing myself. Like, I want some attention. Like, let me be on your. It's not. But he wants me to come on, and sometimes I'll do like Don't Speak, and
Yeah.
it's pretty incredible to be able to have a song that you get out there and you're thinking, do they know me? Like, are they going to be like, why is she here? And then they know all the words. You're like, oh my God, this is crazy.
So first off, I'm going to say that I did love her outfit. That is
Yeah,
classic
100%.
Gwen Stefani. Like, I mean, not many people could pull that off, but she can definitely pull it off. The sheer, yeah.
Yes.
But I have to say that if someone had showed me that clip and it didn't say Gwen Stefani on it, I don't think I would have recognized her.
She looked very puffy.
She looked very puffy, and just overall, like, her whole appearance almost looked like that of a different person.
You know
No facial expressions.
What's funny is I loaded these clips in the vMix, and I was wondering who the other person was until right now.
Really?
I did not know that was her until you just said that. I was like, oh, wow. I did not know that was her until you just said that.
Oh, my gosh.
I thought it was two different people.
You thought it was two different people, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the internet just like went crazy when those things came out. And there's here, so on the left, that's around 2017. The middle picture is her in like 2020, and then the last one is her just this month.
Yeah, she's definitely like slowly had some stuff done.
Yeah.
But
So
it looks she can barely see her eyes.
yeah, she looks super puffy in that right one.
Yeah.
Like she just had it done. So of course, I was looking into this because I saw Gwen Stefani in 2016, 2017. I saw No Doubt play at a concert out in California, and I distinctly remember seeing her and thinking, I mean, she's a beautiful woman, so I don't mean this in a negative way at all, but I remember seeing her, I was like, oh, I can see that Gwen Stefani's aging,
Yeah.
I looked at her, I was like, wow, because what I noticed, and this is so funny because it ties in very well with this new look, I was noticing that she was starting to get platysmal bands in her neck, which is very common for women in their late 40s, right? You start to get the fall of your neck, and it's just a normal aging thing. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the great Gwen Stefani's getting older. I was like, I can't believe it. And I was like, I'm getting old too, right? Because we're like the same age or whatever, or close to it. But then when I looked at that video, like I don't see that anymore. And so it brings up the question of, did she have surgery, right? Or is this just like, Botox and fillers or whatever? And so I started looking on the internet, and there is a lot of stuff out there speculating on, well, of course, any celebrity plastic surgery story is always hot.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing one right now, but but yeah, it was funny how many people were weighing in on it. And I found it kind of a little funny because I found two different recent videos. One was from a plastic surgeon, and he was saying that he didn't think she had surgery, that it was just fillers or Botox or whatever. And then there was this other girl, and I think that she is more like a makeup artist or something.
Yeah.
I think she really has no knowledge base of whether someone had surgery or not. She's like, oh yeah, she's had a neck lift, she's had a facelift, she's had fat injections and all this stuff. And I was just kind of giggling because the plastic surgeon's like no, and she's saying yes, and they were just such different views of what she'd done. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of weigh in. I mean, obviously, I think that she's had some treatments done, right? Your whole face does not change without something, and I think you said she looks puffy. I mean, she's definitely had some fillers, without question. I noticed when you look really close on those pictures, and it's hard to tell when it pops up on the screen, but a lot of the wrinkles that she had have gone away, and so that means she's either using Botox, which probably she is. I mean, everyone and their grandmother is using Botox these days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great medication to use. It's fabulous. Yeah. But she's lost those wrinkles, so she's probably Botoxing, and she may have done some sort of facial resurfacing.
Her nose looks different.
She did have a nose job early on. I know that. I don't think she ever admitted it, but I've seen pictures of her when she was young, in her teens. And then when she kind of got popular, No Doubt, and I'm 99% certain she had a nose job, and she may have had it touched up, I don't know. But so I was wondering, can I tell if she's had surgery? Now, I'm not saying I know for sure. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even care. She's awesome. I love Gwen Stefani. She can do whatever she wants, and she's still a rock star. But I think she did have surgery, and I base that on the fact that when I saw her live and I noticed those aging things, like the sagging of her platysmal neck muscles, And I watched that video, I didn't see it. And the reason I think that surgery is because you can do all sorts of facial, laser resurfacing, Morpheus, things that tighten your skin, but they don't tighten your muscles.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe she got some weird threading of her neck muscles, which I would never recommend anyone do. But I kind of think she may have had surgery. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I mean, I do these kind of procedures, and I did kind of see a difference in her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think of her look? I mean,
I think I like a more natural look, but I feel like maybe whenever she went on that show that it looked like she had just had a lot of work done on her face. Recently.
Yeah.
So maybe in a couple weeks or something,
it'd be better.
It'll
you'd think
it'll
you would,
look
if
more
you were
natural.
like a celebrity, you would time that, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the Late Show. Like, I'm not going to run
Maybe
out.
it was a last minute
Yeah,
thing.
it could
Who
be.
knows?
Well, I mean, I will say this, like that middle picture that we threw up, of her from 2020, I think she looks
Great.
like stunningly beautiful. Like
Yeah.
she looks a little bit different in that picture. Like I can still recognize her, and part of it too is her hair. She changed her hairstyle. But I have to say that like the last one I'm not as fond of. I think she looks very young. Like I would say she looks 15 to 20 years younger than, I mean, she looks like she's in her early 30s there. But I don't know, I'm with you, Sarah, that for me, like the best work is the work that no one knows you had. Like if you come out and you look like a different person, then I don't know, I feel like
Unless
it's too...
that's what you want. But.
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe she did want that.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I'm not going to speculate. Maybe she wanted to like look like that. I don't know.
I feel like with Gwen Stefani, she can do no wrong because she taught me how to spell bananas, and that's just as honest as I can be. She taught me how to spell bananas, so she can do no wrong.
Hey, I feel the same way. I love Gwen Stefani. I mean, I
haven't heard that song in so long.
I know,
It's been
right?
a while.
Rocking out in my car in high
Yeah.
school.
I think it's funny though. You know that song "Just a Girl"? Like I remember, like in
Yeah.
the late '90s, that song was so popular. Like they'd play that at the clubs, and like every dude would be like, "I'm just a girl." It was kind of.
I'm like, were you that dude?
I was that dude. I love that song.
That's
That song
hilarious.
is like rocking. I love the video too. Like the video is great. The song was great. I
funny.
distinctly remember I used to work at this Mexican food restaurant in college, like to kind of help pay my way through college, and that song came on the radio. We had like an overhead, and I was blown away. I was like, that's like an awesome song. And then that's my first memory of No Doubt. But, well, I don't know. She hasn't addressed it. So she's never said whether she did anything or not. And she's probably not going to, because why should she? But it's interesting to talk about. The only thing I would say from a plastic surgery standpoint is my personal preference, at least for my patients, is I would probably not take them that far. I mean, when you take them to the point that they look like a different person, I don't know.
Yeah, I think everything in life, there's a moment where you can go too far.
Yeah.
So
we talked about, and the other one we talked about that did the same thing was Courtney Cox. Like before you were on the show, we did her, and and she even said, she's like, well, I took it a little bit too far, but yeah.
She did.
I need to find a more, so that picture or that interview was just a couple weeks ago. I'm curious now that you mentioned, I would just imagine that she wouldn't come on so soon after something, but I'm gonna see if I can find a current picture and see if maybe it comes down.
Yeah, I follow her on Instagram and stuff, so.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I need to be better. Like, I tend to put a lot of stuff out on social media, and I don't tend to take it in as much unless I'm doing research for the show. And I guess I need, now that we're doing this, got to be a little bit more in tune with what's going on.
Keep up.
I'm gonna rely on you to do that for me.
Yeah.
Kyle Richards, who was on the original Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, was kind of in the news this past week because she's on Instagram a lot. And but before I jump into that, have you guys heard of Kyle Richards?
I've definitely seen her before.
Seen her?
Yeah, I've seen her before as
So
well.
I have a trivia question for you guys, and I feel like you're not going to get it because you guys. I thought maybe you would be like secret Real Housewives of Beverly Hills super fans or something. I didn't know. So she was actually a child actor. Can you guys name the show that she was on by chance?
So is this the picture?
That's the picture.
Okay, I just want to put it on.
It's Little House on the Prairie.
Boom,
Yeah, I was about to
Sarah,
say.
Look at you.
I wanted to put it on equal playing grounds.
He's very, very good.
Yeah,
So she was Alicia Sanderson, which was, I guess, like a neighbor child. I mean, I never liked that show, so I've watched those
My
old shows.
sisters were obsessed with that show.
Really, I think my wife really liked
thought
that
it was
show,
so
but I
boring.
can't remember. I think she liked it. I didn't like the show. It was a little too campy for me. I liked other stuff, but I mean I probably remember seeing that character. Sometimes I did watch it, but yeah, she was on Little House on the Prairie for years and years. So anyway, all right. So back to the what she was in the news for. So she's 54 years old. she's had 4 kids.
Yeah.
And she posted on Instagram a picture this past week. Travis, can you throw it up there? Yeah. So she posted this picture, and like in the comments, it all erupted about that she's had a tummy tuck. And so, you know, it wasn't just like one person. Like there was apparently a ton of people. This is her Instagram picture, by the way, that were saying, oh, you know, Kyle's had this tummy tuck. You know, when did you have your tummy tuck? When did you have your tummy tuck? And so she actually came out and denied. You know, she's like, no, I haven't had a tummy tuck. And so, you know, I thought it was kind of interesting because when you look at that picture and you realize that one, she's 54 years old, but more importantly that she's had 4 kids, it wouldn't be unusual to think that maybe she had. In fact, I would think that, you know, given that information and looking at this picture, I would say that almost certainly a person had, because having 4 children does do things to your abdomen that you can't fix on your own. Like you can go to the gym every day for, you know, of the year forever, and things like rectus diastasis, which was where your abdominal wall stretches out, or loose skin just won't go away. Like you just can't do anything about that. And so I was like, well, I'm going to look into this. And so I actually zoomed in on the picture, and I want to show me that. Yeah, there you go. All right, so this is her bikini strap, you know, right there, that black and then the gold. And you see that little line just to the right of that black strap? Can you see it? I mean,
yeah, I can see it.
That could be just the way her skin looks. I mean, it could potentially be a stretch mark, or it could be a scar for a tummy tuck. So, you know, knowing what I know about, you know, what people look like after 4 kids, and knowing what a tummy tuck scar, where it would be. I mean, I'm not saying she's had a tummy tuck, but I'm not convinced she hasn't, you know, because she looks amazing. And granted, I'm sure she works out all the time, and she's got, you know, people that help her train and whatnot, but there are things that you can't get without a tummy tuck. And so I wouldn't be surprised if she has had one.
I'd like to see her like not laying on
Flat.
her back.
Right.
And then she's obviously sucking in her stomach and like arching her back.
Maybe. I mean, you're very right. It could be a completely posed picture, you know, that she doesn't look as good, you know, normally as she does in that picture, because she looks amazing in that picture. I mean, just outstanding. So what's funny though is, like, you know, because she denied that she'd had one, but she has had plastic surgery. The funny part about that, though, is she actually got outed about having plastic surgery. She didn't tell anyone she had, and I got a little video clip here, so roll that clip. This is Andy Cohen from Watch What Happens, outing her.
Breast reduction working out.
Oh, thank you for letting everyone know, Andy. Thank you.
Oh my God! I thought you talked about it.
Never talked.
No.
By the way,
But you've told me about it so many times. I'm so sorry.
okay, I text Andy all the time. I'm just gonna say this. I never told anybody.
I am so.
I thought that was pretty funny. I mean, it's kind of, you know, obviously a serious situation if somebody's outed about, you know, their surgeries. But what it does show is that she's not like really forthcoming about having plastic surgery, right? Because she didn't tell people she's had a breast reduction, and it just kind of came out, you know. And I don't think that was scripted. I mean, maybe not. I mean, who knows? But, you know, it's possible that she's had one. I'm not sure. Like, it's a really good question. You'd have to like see some. I actually flipped through her Insta, because like, well, I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find a bikini pic of her straight on, because it's kind of hard to hide that abdominoplasty incision if you're wearing something really skimpy. But there was no pictures that showed what I needed to see. Which,
yeah, I mean, she looks very full-figured anyways, at least in that. I mean, her chest does.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, she had a breast reduction, so yeah. But anyway, I found it interesting. I'm not convinced she hasn't had a tummy tuck. You know, I can't tell you for sure she has. I can just tell you that having 4 kids and looking like that is, she's either had a tummy tuck, or she is just a, you know, 1 in a million, you know, having 4 kids and looking that awesome. Because once again, it's not about working out. I don't know if you guys have been on social media lately, but man, there has been this plastic surgery procedure that is popping up all over social media, all over like the news articles. And I've been meaning to do it for a couple weeks, and we just had a lot of things we had to get to, and that is buccal fat removal.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about this?
Not really, but I know it's like really, really trendy to do the face contouring. Remember those makeup hacks I did one time?
Yes.
And it's supposed to make that look like that, but this is actually to make it
Yeah, this is like a permanent thing. Yeah, and so you get online and you pull up these articles, and like it's immediately like controversial. Like you have people saying, "Oh, it gives you this chiseled like cheek look that slims your face," and you got other people saying it makes you look like a zombie. And so this is a good one to talk about because it's like hot. Like I mean, I can't even open like
very extremes.
It is, dude. It's a controversial thing. Yeah. So this is perfect for us to talk about.
Yes.
So it gained a little bit of popularity because there was a celebrity that just flat out came out and said, I had this done, and is very open about it, and that's Chrissy Teigen. So I got a couple pictures, Travis. All right, so there's Chrissy Teigen, obviously beautiful. So obviously on the left side, that's her pre. I pulled that from her Instagram and like 3 years ago. And then her post-procedure picture is the one on the right. And I got another view of it, Travis. Yeah. So, I mean, you can see it. I think it's pretty obvious, or it is to me. Like, her cheeks
right
are...
here.
Yeah, they're really hollowed out underneath her cheekbones. Which, I mean, it does give it definition. And so she's been really open about the procedure. And, and of course, it's, and if you go into, like, Instagram feed, it's just, like, people fighting about it. You know how social media is, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then there was another celebrity that's rumored to have it, and I think she has, and that's Leah Michelle. Toss her picture up there, Travis. So I took that picture.
I know who she is now, yeah.
You didn't know her?
Yeah.
So the picture on the left is I took from her Instagram like a few years back, and then there's the picture on the right. And I mean, it could be like weight fluctuations. I mean, if you were to lose a ton of weight, you could potentially get that look. But I mean, I do think that it's very possible that she had this procedure done based on that picture. So there's a couple of people that have been talked about. And you can simulate what you would look like with this procedure. It's all right, have you ever sucked on a straw really hard? Yeah, so I tried to do, so this is gonna be funny. So I tried to do.
That's how I put on my makeup.
Is it? Yeah, okay, right. So I tried to do a before and after of me, what I would look like. But of course it makes your, here it is. So it makes your lips look really funny. And so I actually photoshopped the like, lips on the left onto the one.
Yeah, that looks.
I mean, it looked worse though when I had like the really like, swirled up lips. But you can see like it slims my face. All right, ignore the ridiculous lips on the right picture. But you can see my cheeks on the right picture are much thinner than
You remind me of Brendan Fraser. Is that his name?
Yeah.
From like The Mummy?
Right, yeah. Like with the chiseled jaw. It does kind of so like, I mean, I don't know. Like I don't hate it. No. I'm not sure I would go do that. But I mean, at least in that instance where I think to me that's a mild kind of effect.
Absolutely.
Compared to like those other girls. Like, I mean, I hate to like beat up people, but I mean, I just don't really personally like the look of those other Teigen and
I
Michelle
feel like it makes them look older.
Yeah, and so that's exactly right.
Because like whenever you're young, I feel like your cheeks are like full.
Right,
and
totally.
Like not like chubby, but just like
full, right?
Yeah.
And then as you age,
then that sinks in.
You're exactly right.